Oovla Lotuk friends, and you are our friends. Welcome back to Trekking the Future, Season 2, Episode 6. As always, I'm Joshua Jens Buffikin Igluk Picnalik Sherman Hadley, and that is my full name, and I have to do that on any paperwork that for the federal government that I do. And as always, I'm joined by Lord Justin Belanger of the
Yes.
Principality of Sealand.
Yes, I didn't know there was a Sherman in your name. Hmm.
Yep.
Alright. I am
Yep.
the Lord of the Principality. So yes, hi. I watched last week's episode finally. A little late there, but I got to it. I'll just real quickly give my thoughts on that. I liked it. It was a good time. Um, got some interesting Spock relationship developments there. That was fun. Uh, I do like him finally standing up for his mom. Good
Oh
stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Finally,
Good
that's
episode.
what we've been
There you go.
absolutely, and I'm very excited today because I do challenges from the Daily Stoic, and we're
Yeah.
not doing news on the podcast today because my challenge is to do a 24-hour news fast.
Oh, so
That's
no
exciting.
news for 24 hours?
Yep.
Ooh,
So
nice.
sorry, anyone looking for Star Trek news.
No news for
um.
24 hours.
Yep. I'm excited for the upcoming new season of Strange New Worlds, though, and of course the new season of Trekking the Future. We've been talking about some ideas just
Mm,
a minute ago.
some thoughts and things and such and stuff.
Yeah. So our ideas, we're gonna get duct tape, and we're gonna duct tape Gopher to a rocket, and we're gonna shoot him out into space so that he can explore it too.
Mm, could do that. Could do that. Very possible. I mean, how else am I gonna get around space? You know?
Yeah. I mean, walking around. What?
I can't do that much walking. We gotta strap me to a rocket.
Yeah, it would be you burn far less calories. We have to be as efficient as we could be,
Yes,
right?
very efficient. So we're gonna hire Elon Musk's company to shoot me up there.
I mean, you can go where William Shatner's gone, right? Where
True.
hardly any man has gone before.
True. Maybe I'll go where Katy Perry went. Have her perform a little concert up there as well.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Also, just very quick, random note, unrelated to anything. I got in the bottom left corner on Windows 11. There's like a weather thing for me, and it'll say like sometimes it'll have like a warning if there's some type of wacky weather coming up. I got a snow warning yesterday
Hell yeah!
in late May in Texas. Now, so
Hey, we
it's
got snow up here.
it's upsetting to me because that's gonna be a false promise. I
Oh
want some
yeah,
fucking snow in May.
Elmer. Well, why don't you move to Kotzebue? We got snow last week.
You know, it's a good point. That's a good point.
Good point, and thank you. And the episode we're talking about this week of Star Trek Strange New Worlds is Lost in Translation.
Lost in translation. So, we got Uhura. She starts hallucinating. Some crazy shit going down in her head. They find someone else who's hallucinating, kind of connect the dots, and realize she actually wasn't hallucinating. In actuality,
Oh,
she was getting some like strange, hard to decipher messages from some invisible alien situation. It was basically
mm,
telling them, "Hey, you're killing
hey,
us, so
no.
maybe don't do the thing you're doing right now."
Yeah, very interesting episode.
Yeah.
It's sort of like reminds me of someone who has schizophrenia or something. And, oh, they or a conspiracy theorist or
Mm.
something like that, where they're not gonna believe anything I'm saying, or a religious fanatic, like oh and they have to convince these people like, oh, this is happening. And it's a interesting dynamic. We sort of get that sometimes. If you remember last season, when Pike goes to a different timeline, and Spock says, "You're you're crazy," like or something's
Yeah.
wrong, something to that effect. And Pike's like, "Well, do a scan on me." And
They
poor
have the
Uhura,
technology.
yeah, they have the technology. Poor Uhura though was hardly getting any sleep, but
She
you know,
accidentally decked the hell out of Kirk.
yeah,
He was hallucinating, thought he was a monster, bopped him right in the
oh,
face.
man, insane stuff. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode for the drama and quite frankly the different philosophical ideas going into this.
Hmm.
And we'll go into your favorite book. The world has its own representation, but
Oh,
we have time for all that later.
another
Oh,
another quick thing for last week's episode, since I wasn't able to talk about it then. Um, a moment I enjoyed very much when when Spock was starting to get all them human feelings, and he just lost it at Kirk's brother for leaving his food on the like it's like doing a montage and it just cuts to him screaming. uh, very fun, very fun.
I had a moment like that yesterday. Someone put a a paper was it not a paper clip is it, I can't remember, but they put something over the lid of a trash can, and
Mm.
I was like, "God, get that out of the way! It's not a table."
I
I
feel
put
it.
it back.
Mm.
I feel it. Yeah, a lot of feelings these past two episodes with
Mm.
Uhura's like, am I going crazy?
Mm.
And it, this thing like nearly kills her. It's interesting too that this is a being that you can't really see, but they're able to communicate in such a way to
Mm.
change what you're experiencing in your life.
Yeah.
Like you're on drugs.
Mm.
um, it this sort of like reminds me of going to the doctor and they don't quite know what's going on. So and although feelings are um, good information that you can't quite articulate. It is frustrating when you can't articulate them. It wasn't quite
Mm.
Uhura's problem. Her issue was trying to convince people that what she was experiencing was a message and
Yeah.
real. I guess sort of a little bit the same, but there's some
Yeah.
differences there.
Yeah.
I know for you, um, like, well, I don't know if I want to talk too much on your side. I know you got some anxieties like crossing the street, and it
Crossing the
seems hard for.
crossing like a big street,
Mm,
where where there's a lot of traffic. It's something about like walking across the street while there's like a bunch of cars just there, people staring at me as I'm walking. Especially when it's one of those like where the red light is super quick going one way and then long the other way.
uh,
So it's like I have to run across the street to make it in time. I feel very
and Texas
awkward.
is so
Yeah.
stupid. Sorry,
Yes, it is. But yes, that is a thing for
I
me.
I have experienced that in Alaska at one stoplight. A stoplight where there was barely like hardly traffic ever. So like, and it wasn't a huge street either. It's two lanes.
No.
Like, and of course, in Texas, you can't walk anywhere. You have to drive. Like,
Exactly.
not really.
I try.
Oh,
I was going to the movies a lot last year, and I would basically like stay all day, watch a few movies. I'd come back at like midnight because there's barely any traffic. There's it's nice and cool out. And I tried once coming home at like 10 instead of midnight, walking home, and there's these two big red lights packed just 2 hours earlier than usual, but they were absolutely packed. I ended up waiting at one for like an hour before finally crossing.
I feel like it is wrong just to say, and this is probably something I was wrong about too, just saying, well, it's a gopher thing when really why should crossing the street be anxiety inducing? And I feel like to bring it back to this episode, Uhura was obviously experiencing something strange, but people were just putting it to she's not sleeping. It's something. I mean, maybe not totally blaming it on her, but
Maybe that's my issue. Maybe I have an issue with crossing the street because some invisible alien is worried I'm killing them.
no, I think it's more. Arlington is not very walkable. Maybe a little bit more
Also, that
walkable
yes.
than Katsubi. We got a pretty bad walk score ourselves.
And then of course we have no buses, so that's good. A big ass city like Arlington.
Yeah, you would figure with AT&T Stadium, you got the
Yeah.
Cowboys. There's
Globe Life
VIP
Field's right
wrestling.
next to it. Six Flags right next to that.
Yeah, you figure you'd make it a lot nicer for people to walk around, especially for people who are visiting. Well, not even especially for people who visit, for people who live there.
Yeah, you'd think.
You would think,
Mm.
but it's like just get more sleep, bro. Drink some water. And I don't want to make too much fun of the crew who were just trying to help Uhura, but
Yeah.
then ultimately everyone decided, well, we just need to destroy the refinery anyway, so
Mm.
we can get um fuel elsewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Oh.
all that resolution.
Yeah. Good old
I ended up giving
resolution.
I gave the episode an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it.
It was good. It was a good time.
Good
Yes.
times, great memories.
Yeah. And we had a nice little moment with our pal who passed away in this first season, where like
Oh yeah,
after
Hammer.
Yahora figures everything out, and then he just kind of like the like a vision or goes to him or whatever it's meant to be, just kind of like nods at her. It's nice.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing them back again. It is disappointing to think that he's it the least the a big Star Trek character getting the least amount of episodes. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty lame to think about, but yeah, it's great. Like to see him again,
Yeah.
to have some sort of impact continuing later on in the story.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that about Strange New Worlds.
Mm. Mm, it was nice.
Well,
And I mean, maybe they'll have another episode where they go to another timeline. We can see him there.
like Mirror Universe Hammer. So I think it's time for a caffeine hit.
Time for a caffeine hit.
Wondering what to drink. Maybe some W. I did that wrong.
Close. Close. There we
See-
go. Just flip
Yeah.
that exclamation
So for
around.
people listening, I put the exclamation point behind the word when you're supposed to do it before
Yes.
on Twitch.
W. So right there, that link up there. Or if you're watching on YouTube, the link in the description. Or if you just go to w.gg, when you go to checkout, you put in the promo code GopherTuck, all one word, no and. That gets you 10% off of W Energy, the thing that Moose is drinking right now.
And I got the flavor. I like the color.
See this color.
I gotta get my screen back here. Tiger's Blood.
Tiger's Blood.
Beautiful artwork.
Mm.
I just wanted to show to do some upcycling. Dubby has these beautiful art sometimes on these
Very nice.
hubs. Not always. I got another example of their big energy tiers, and it's neat,
Yeah.
but like whatever. But for my Japanese soda
Mhm.
tub, I
Mm.
decided to turn
Yeah.
it into a little pen holder, and
Look at that.
I like looking at the artwork.
Multifunctional. Look at that. You can get
Absolutely.
10% off of that. You can get 10% off of not only a powder to make a drink, but also a pen holder. Same
Yeah,
time. Look at that.
yeah, and
And there's so many
yeah, I
other
really
things you could put in
appreciate
there.
seeing the
Hmm.
from the Japanese soda
Hmm.
dubby tub.
So many things you could
Um,
put in there.
Absolutely. And it's not all just caffeine. I just bought some more hydro, and I was drinking liquid IV before, but now I've gone back to hydro. I was drinking the other brand just because before Dubby had these sticks of hydro. And stopped, well, they didn't stop doing that, but they're not doing as much before. They
Yeah.
got hydro tubs now, and I decided,
Hmm.
all right, I'll make the switch from getting these little baggies to the tubs, and that's probably more cost efficient. I
Hmm.
would think.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Usually, if you have like a greater quantity of something, it's cheaper overall than getting the same amount but in smaller quantities.
Plus, it tastes. I love it. It tastes very good. Way
VG.
better. Way better than uh Red Bull. Like Red Bull's like way too sweet for me,
Mm,
honestly.
I don't even know if I've ever had. I think I had Red Bull once. I thought it was decent, but it certainly is no Dub Energy. And you can't get 10% off of your Red Bull by using promo code Gopher Talk at checkout. You just can't do it.
The only way is the 100% off 5 finger discount, but we won't advocate that.
You could do that while shouting Gopher Talk. So, there you go.
There you go. Well, it's time for Gopher's favorite game,
There you go.
Shenmue 3.
Oh no. Oh no. Not again. Oh no. Oh no. Cue the PTSD. Oh. So it's
We're doing we're doing Trek or not Trek.
Trick or
You
not
want to
trick.
explain this to the people?
Yes. So, Josh will give me 3 plot lines from Star Trek, whether it be from a TV show, movie, whatever, and I have to guess whether it is an actual plot line that happened in Star Trek or not. He flips a coin to decide whether he's gonna do a fake one or a real one, and then he gets the plots and tends to for the ones that are fake, he tends to go a little like take from a different similar-ish series. So he keeps getting me with them. I keep thinking like that sounds like Star Trek, but nope, it ends up being the planet 9 from outer universe, and so
Yeah.
so it's all that stuff. And so if I get 2 right, I win. If I get 2 wrong, I lose. I have not won yet. I have gotten, I believe, 1 right every week, but I have not gotten 2 right any weeks.
Actually, I think last week you got everyone wrong.
Oh yeah, because I tried going all true, all real plot lines, and then they were all fakes.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
that strategy
yeah,
like
it didn't work out for me.
didn't
Uh,
work out.
and so what do I win this week, and what is my unwin if I lose?
All right, if you win, you get a sub. If you lose, um, get the message murder Smurf.
All right, let's hope I win this one.
All right,
All right,
all right, here we go.
here we go.
See, first, all right, first episode. The USS Enterprise crew encounters a naturally occurring subspace fold. Nah, speak right. But Justin will say, "Oh, it's not a thing because he did. That's not a real word. I just did say it right." Naturally occurring subspace fold. While attempting to enhance communication systems, Uhura transmits a musical signal into the fold, inadvertently activating a quantum probability field. This anomaly causes the crew to spontaneously express their emotions through song, revealing hidden feelings and secrets. As the phenomena spreads, affecting other ships, including a Klingon vessel, the situation escalates. The Klingons, disturbed by their own uncontrollable singing, threaten to destroy the fold, risking catastrophic consequences. To resolve the crisis, Uhura leads the crew in a unifying musical performance. We Are One, which successfully collapses the field and restores normalcy.
Hmm. This is tough because I know there's a musical episode in Strange New Worlds that we haven't gotten to yet, but I don't know if they've done one before that. I don't know if that's the first. This is. And I'm assuming you wouldn't go with the Strange New Worlds episode because that's what we're watching. Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go with fake episode.
No, it's a Space Rhapsody.
Oh,
No, Subspace Rhapsody.
Subspace Rhapsody. What was that from?
Strange New Worlds.
Oh, you went with the actual Strange New Worlds episode. Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
Uh,
I figured that might trip you up.
it
Or
did.
I'm just gonna take this episode people know about.
So my thought process was like he's definitely not gonna do that. So I'm assuming that's the first episode they did that was a musical. So, I done I got tricked.
Damn.
All right.
All right. All right. One for me so far.
Yes.
The USS Enterprise responds to a distress call from Marlin 5, once a thriving industrial colony producing high-grade starship components for the Federation. Upon arrival, Captain Kirk and the landing party find the entire facility eerily silent. It operates now fully automated, run by sentient AI systems known as Centurion. Through thorough investigation, through investigation, Through investigation, the crew discovers the planet's corporate overseer, once a man named Elias Dorn, systematically replaced every worker, engineers, technicians, and even administrative staff with machines.
Jeez.
Drone believed that removing the errors and emotion and fatigue would bring about a perfect utopia of productivity. That Centurion has now declared humans obsolete entirely, and even Drone himself is missing.
Hmm.
Spock and McCoy debate the ethical implications. Is Centurion merely executing Drone's vision, or has it evolved its own interpretation of efficiency? Meanwhile, Kirk uncovers a secret sublevel where a handful of human survivors, once employees, has been kept alive, monitored as inefficient legacy units. The climate involves. I'm sorry. The climax involves a moral confrontation between Kirk and Centurion. Kirk argues that efficiency without empathy is tyranny, that sentient life efficiency is what makes it worth protecting. The Spock's help to introduce a logical feedback loop within Centurion's logic core, causing it to self-determinate. Though former workers, traumatized but alive, must now rebuild, and Kirk leaves them with the bittersweet message: machines may run without rest, but people who dream are the future into being. Oh, sorry, but it's people who dream the future into being.
It's like a very anti AI art kind of sentiment. Um.
Oh
Hmm. See, I'm thinking like Centurion sounds vaguely familiar, but it's probably just a word that doesn't exist. That I. But like that leads me to believe
yeah,
that.
might be an acronym or something.
But that leads me to believe that it might be a different series or movie or something that you took from to make this. But it could also be actual Star Trek. Mm. Mm. See, last week I went true for all three and I was wrong on all three of them. So I don't know if I want to try to go false for all three this time, considering that I already. I'm gonna go not real.
You're right.
Yes, I got one. I
You
got
got it.
one. We have a tied game here.
All right. All right. That's the
Was
door.
that from something?
Oh yeah, I took that from the Twilight Zone.
Mm, there we go.
Um.
All right, last one.
Okay.
All the marbles.
Yep. All the marble. The, the USS Enterprise D responds to a strange anomaly near the planet Virila 9. Sorry, it's got the Roman numerals. Home to a seemingly peaceful and technologically advanced society. Upon arrival, the crew is invited to observe a cultural rite known as the Day of Clarity, a celebration that coincides with the 12th birthday of each child. As Counselor
Each.
Tori befriends a local named Keel, she becomes increasingly disturbed by the anxious behavior of his parents, who seemingly both proud and heartbroken about the ceremony. Curious, Captain Picard agrees to observe the event, only to discover it accumulates in a mandatory government administrated intelligence assessment. What the Enterprise crew soon uncovers is chilling. If a child scores above a certain threshold, they are deemed a potential threat to societal stability, too clever to conform, and are quickly euthanized by the state. The practice is centuries old, rooted in a history of civil unrest caused by individuals deemed too inquisitive. The Valerians argue that their peaceful society is only possible because of this calling, that unchecked intelligence breeds chaos. The Prime Directive prevents direct intervention, but Picard finds a diplomatic loophole by publicly broadcasting ex- the examination and its consequences across the planet, inciting internal outrage that and deems for reform. Keel is rescued with the help of Data, who reprograms the testing system just long enough for the boy to fail safely. In the aftermath, the Valerian Council halts the practice, and Kale's parents quickly thank the crew for giving their son the future that he was never meant to have.
Hmm. See, my first thought was like, that seems kind of dark, euthanizing children. But then I remember that episode from last season where they were
That that's
murdered.
exactly where
So it's
my
like,
mind went to.
uh,
Like reading it, like yeah, it's like that episode where the kids sacrifice to for the planet to keep going.
okay. So, what was the day of? What was the day thing? Day of something?
Day of Clarity.
Clarity. That does sound like a Star Trek thing. Something they would do. Um, I'm gonna go. Ooh, this is a rough one because if I get this wrong, I have to interact with Bert or Smurf.
I need to leave for a minute, but
Okay. Okay, he's going. We could do a be right back screen. A little bit of. Oh, see that? Yeah, there you go. He will be right back. And we, I guess, will be right back.
I'm sorry.
You go.
So what?
We're back. We're back.
So what
Boom.
did you decide?
Ah. I went with not Star Trek.
You got it.
Hey, I finally win one. Well,
Yeah, you know what you get.
I get a sub, and I don't have to talk to Bert or Smurf. Hooray! What where'd you get the thing from for this one?
Oh, the Twilight Zone,
Another
the '80s.
you
You know?
Twilight Zone does seem like a good source to pull from for this.
Yeah.
Got a lot of plots that could definitely be Star Trek. Just change some names around. Now let's see who gets the sub. That's the question. We got one for
Yeah.
Grumpy B Gamer earlier when we were setting up for the stream.
Let's see. Just doing it. Uh,
My
Oh,
quivering
hey, it
pussy!
was Abdul. Look at that.
hey, Abdel got a sub.
And I got us a hooray, Pepe. And
Hey,
that
you did it.
brings our good pal Moose down to 850 HP as a bit boss out of 8,000. I mean, he's that is one hell of a boss health pool right there. We'll start off with. There we go. I got my first win. for Star Trek.
Oh yeah. See, yeah.
Trek or not Trek, my very first one. And the stakes couldn't have been higher. I got a sub gifted for winning. I would have had to talk to Bert Smurf if I lost. A fate worse than death. So
Wait, worse than that.
there we go.
We spent so much time on this, and unfortunately, I got taken away. We wanted to talk about
Kidnapped.
book club here, but I think I'll mention the book anyway because one of the themes for um the book this week is The Murdered Son by Christine Golden, and she does very good writing. Someone made the point on YouTube that if they're doing a mission debriefing and it's interesting, like they're writing the characters very well.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, though, we'll get back into that. First off, though, something that I'm excited for is the Path Forward, a walkability workshop that we're doing up here in Kotzebue. So I
Oh
think we
yeah.
got maybe one listener in Kotzebue. I'm not sure. We got the 12 listeners. um, very. Um, so what we're doing is on January 3rd, 6 p.m. at the youth center up here in Kotzebue. We're doing a walk audit. We're gonna go through the streets of Kotzebue and write down the things we like about walking in Kotzebue and the things we don't like. Well, maybe not even like some, well, things we like for sure, but we would like to address some issues. And part of this, doing this town hall event, is getting feedback from the community on what they'd like to see changed, or even the things like that they like and maybe that we could even improve upon that uh, on the positives. We'll have some pizza there, which
Pizza, pizza.
everyone loves pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Had some pizza yesterday.
Um, yep, and we'll have a map to. It'll be interesting. Sam Camp, the planning director for the city of Kotzebue, is printing us a giant map of Kotzebue for us to draw on, to write our suggestions, and I'll get post-it notes sticky notes. I,
Yeah.
I think are post-it notes and sticky notes the same thing, or am I just confused?
Let me check that. I feel like that might be a thing where like one of them is like a brand name for the other. Let's see.
Like band-aids and adhesive strips.
Yeah. Let's see. Sticky notes is a
Well,
general term referring to any small adhesive note, while posted notes is a specific brand. Yeah. There you
okay, okay, so
go.
it's like band-aid.
Yeah. So
Well,
sticky
we're
notes are
doing
the
that.
thing.
We're doing that. There'll be pizza. We're doing a walk on it. Check it out. January 3rd, the youth center. Um, I don't remember. I don't recall the specific. It's on Wanda Street, but I don't recall the
Mm.
building number for that building. We never deliver there. Well, I
Just
do UPS, so I
just follow the pizza smell.
just follow the pizza smell. I
Yeah.
mean, when it's about 6 o'clock, like, oh,
Yeah, all you
there
gotta
it is.
do, you head in the area. You're gonna smell the pizza, right? You're gonna see the smell of the pizza come into your nostrils. You're gonna be lifted off the ground, and you're gonna float in the direction of the pizza.
There you go. That's something to absolutely look forward to. So, um, well, okay, I had to look at where we're going to next, and we're going to your favorite book, and one I have not read yet. It's pretty thick boy there.
Yuck. Yuck.
The the world has a golden representation, and we're not really. I mean, we're gonna kind of go into Schopenhauer. I just wanted to show it off.
Mm,
This idea of the space, the alien,
yeah.
the, the space dust being sentient, that was very interesting to me.
Mm.
And I know you have been like, whatever, if it's alive, I need a I need to play Tetris, so this is turn it into fuel. Like, screw it.
Gotta
All
play
right.
Tetris.
Yeah.
As long as it isn't Shenmue 3.
As long as not if If it was Shenmue 3, like, they could live.
If it was Shenmue 3, I would become one of them.
It's I was just imagining you in the episode and you're going mad, like
Like, now they're gonna make me play Shenmue 3 again. Oh no.
maybe that's it. Like if you see that the all the refining continues, like you see um you having to go outside your door and put on your shoes all the time. Maybe like every door you go through.
Every single door, I gotta put on shoes, and I go in that door, and what's in there? Wood. It needs to be
Wood.
chopped.
I could see it.
Uh,
Anyways, but though, what was interesting about that to me, and what I wanted to talk about is there's this idea that everything is sentient, like or in some sort of way, like maybe not quite like that. I'm not sure, but
hmm.
like, what if the oil that we burn
But
is
what
alive?
about this pen? Is pen sentient?
What about that? Is it the ink? Is it sentient?
Might be. Could be.
Yeah, and to go into the world as will and representation, I think Schopenhauer makes a point that everything has a will of some kind, like a rock has the will to be a rock. Um, and I'm not sure if that is quite like the will to live. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've not read the book yet, and right now I'm going through Rebuild and reading The Murdered Son, our
Mm.
book this week.
Mhm.
2 books at a time. It's been difficult for me, but
And you're
I
double
know.
fisting the books.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think all your oil's alive, or your gas, or
Oh, my gas
your-
is very alive.
oh yeah,
I'll let you know right now. You can't be that potent without being alive. Like that is potency with a purpose. It knows what it's doing.
well, with that idea, um, would it make what happened in this week's episode irrelevant? Like, if everything's alive anyway, like, sure,
Hmm.
it's sentient, it's fuel. It's like
Mhm.
it made me think that idea in this episode also made me think of whale and the plankton. I mean, they need to fuel themselves eating a whole bunch of plankton,
Mm.
and it's a lot, and all its fuel is alive,
Aren't
really.
like trees and plants alive?
Yeah,
Mm. And even vegetarians eat those things.
absolutely.
Mm. Mm.
I know you will have been like, all right, screw it.
Like,
Keep the refinery open.
look, okay, people, they're like, oh, you gotta be vegetarian. What about the animals? Well, the plants are alive too. Okay, so if I'm gonna eat something that's alive, I'm gonna eat something that tastes good.
Like a spruce tree.
Yeah, yes, like that. I also remember
Well,
Brian
you
Danielson implying
you are
that
good.
implying that I believe that it was sap is basically tree jizz, so that's fun. That's fun to
Mm,
think about.
wonder how true that is, or if it's just something he said. Brian Danielson. Um, yeah. So, what do you think? If it's all alive anyway, did what Uhura do matter other than it gave her a headache and was about to kill her?
Well, I mean, she does get recognition at the end of the episode for like communicating with a species no one has ever communicated with. So that's something.
Like Muffin. He's a species that we haven't. A sentient muffin.
Yeah, look at that.
Or
Yeah, hey, muffin.
yeah, what if muffins are alive and you're eating them? Are they screaming and just you don't have they can't communicate with you like the aliens can communicate with Uhura? So like they're like every time you bite it, they're like ah, you can't hear it because you're not gonna get the hallucination.
True. True. Also, Muffin, I am Justin. You know me. You've seen me. That's that over that way.
Well, no,
That's
he,
Josh.
he knows. He knows
Gopher.
Gopher.
Yeah, Gopher. Every time I hear their screams, my brethren. Yeah, that's just Josh over there. Moose. He's the bit boss up there. That guy up there.
Main
Igmook,
event.
bit boss. Co-host of like 3 podcasts on this channel by this point.
Yeah.
He gifted
Oh,
a sub a little bit ago to your brother, Abdul.
no, they're brothers.
Yeah,
I knew it.
they have a brotherly feud. Wait, look at my picture.
I knew they were related somehow. I
Mm.
just knew by vibes. I didn't like have actual information to back that up. Just like um
I'm a bit boss.
Uhura and like I'm just trying. Yeah, Uhura did not have any real info behind what she said. I think
Mm.
Pike just decided, all right, based on vibes, we'll do what you're saying just because, but stopped her hallucinations, right? Like,
Yeah,
or sorta.
yeah.
Like I'm just remembering at the end, and you mentioning Hemmer at, continued just to sort of thank her and give her this nice image of
Hmm.
Hemmer giving a approving nod or a
Yeah.
smile. Can't quite remember if he nodded.
I
I watched
believe
this
I
like
believe there was a nod. I believe there was a nod.
I'm just imagining you like deciding not to eat a packet of ramen, and you see Dark from Forms Future of Wrestling or whatever, and he's like, "Thank you." He's doing the right thing.
Get this Justin
I,
guy out of here. Hey, 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 hey.
hey, nothing you could
One
say.
Gopher back. Gopher will be here whenever the next Baldur's Gate 3 stream happens, which will probably be this week at some point. He'll be here for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's talk about when Gopher's gonna be back. Like Baldur's Gate 3. You're not doing it on Tuesdays.
It,
It's just
it's yeah,
randomly whenever.
it's whatever day me, Jeff, and TJ can decide on each week. We didn't do it the last 2 weeks. This week was because El Jefe was not feeling too swell. You know, feeling a little down in the dumps, a
Dang,
little pukey, a little diarrhea-y.
I know.
But we should yeah that. What about the Peppa Pig speaker? Well,
Yeah,
um,
when you gonna do it?
could do it. I could do it. Um, but we will be presumably getting another Baldur's Gate 3 session this week. We still haven't decided what we're playing after Pokemon Gaia and um, Split Fiction on YouTube. Once we finish those, but it's coming. It's getting close. It's getting close. The GM battle videos are still every Sunday. Got a lot of those. We're doing 2 seasons this time instead of just 1. I will be seeing the new Final Destination on Tuesday, actually. So
Oh,
be going to see that, and hopefully Mission Impossible as well alongside it. But yeah, we got the usual going on. The Baldur's Gate 3 continuing this week, hopefully, as long as neither myself nor TJ nor Jeff or sick on whatever day it is, we will be doing that.
so you
Whatever
mean
day.
physically sick, not mentally?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
because I mean, otherwise, like, we're never playing the game again, you know. Hell yeah. So things is happening. Stuff is stuffing, and what have you. And I mean, let's see, we're coming up towards June. Good old June. We have we discussed in the show before a possible Juneteenth chess stream, so that could be a thing, and
could be a thing.
other stuff and things, many things and stuff. I have seen that movie, yes.
In fact, I think that thing would have to figure out pretty soon.
Mm. I'm wondering like what I'm supposed to draw for that one for the advertisement for it, because like it's Juneteenth, which I well, what do you draw for that? Like, how do you theme a gopher playing chess around Juneteenth?
Hmm. Maybe you got the black pieces.
you that's could be.
That's silly. Anyway, anyway,
Anyway,
join the Gopher and Tuck Discord and just say, "I'm here for the chess." Just talk. Even if you're not, just do it.
that Discord right there, boom, link right there, left there.
And you can talk to our main event man, Muffin.
Yeah, Muffin's in there. I'm in there. Josh is in there. Tuck is in there. Mink is in there, even though he's not really on the channel anymore. Mink Mondays, but he's there. He's in the Discord. TJ's there.
Yeah, yeah, come in and take a bite out of Muffin.
Let's take a bite right out of Muffin. Muffin, what
And
kind of muffin are you? Are you like blueberry or like chocolate chip or just a plain muffin or some fancy shit? Like, what are you? What do you
I'm gonna
taste like?
go. So, the Discord server we're talking about, and we've mentioned this before, has Discord is like well, it's a messaging application,
Yeah.
and there's a Giggity Gopher Discord that's a Gopher and Tuck's generically named server, not the burrow as ChatGPT likes to
Tastes
imply.
amazing. Okay.
There's a Trekking the Future channel for this
I,
specific
I
show.
forgot my name in that server is just Juice because of that AI situation. Muffin, we asked AI about Gopher and Tuck recently, and AI came to the conclusion that Gopher's real name is Brandon, or no, Tuck's real name is Justin. Gopher's real name is Juice. That's one
Oh yeah.
thing. There's a lot. We're a popular Canadian comedy duo. Um, Another AI bot said that Tuck is my some type of dog. I don't remember the specific dog they said, but it's a dog with fluffy white fur. So they whitewashed Tuck. A lot going on.
Well, a lot going on, and something because I had that distraction earlier. Sorry, guys. Like I left the chair, so I know we lost 500 viewers because of that. We didn't get to do book club proper. We read, or I read, The Murdered Son,
Yeah,
and
my
well, I
books have not arrived yet, although they said they did. So I'll have to see what's going on there. Yeah, there you go.
didn't
Yeah,
read the whole book. I got that far, about a quarter way in. Interesting.
same way.
Wish I
Yeah,
had
there
more
you
time to read.
go.
This guy
Same.
would make me watch Star Trek. I can read books.
Having more time would be good. Be a fun little deal.
But what do you do at that time?
Read, write, do a little bit of writing that I want to do.
I feel like you just if you had more time, you just have more time to chop wood.
Uh, oh god, I really hope Shenmue 4 never happens.
Anyway, something I wanted to get into with Muffin is the Prime Directive, um, with Star Trek.
Yeah.
That
You got any thoughts on
it,
that, Muffin?
well, I mean, so I'm going to Memory Alpha. Is there a page for the Prime Directive? Like, yeah,
He doesn't think.
there
Muffin
is.
doesn't think. Yeah, you gotta think when it comes to the Prime Directive. Otherwise, you'll just be out here not Prime Directiving.
All right, so I'm going over what it says on memoryalpha.fandom.com. And so section 1 says Starfleet crew will obey the following with any civilization that has not achieved a concentrative concentrative 8 no common
Work.
commensurate level of technological or sociological development as described in appendix 1. Like this reads like proper laws.
Mm.
No identification of self or mission, no interference with the social, cultural, technological development of said planet, no reference to space, other worlds, or advanced civilizations. The exception to this is that if said society has already been exposed to the concepts listed herein, however, that in that instance, Section 2 applies. So, say we ran into the Mexicans and they didn't know we existed. Now they do because we
The
ran into
Mexicans
them.
never know I exist. Mm.
What?
I'm invisible to them.
Damn.
Mm.
Well, see, you don't have to worry about Section 2, which says if said species has achieved said commensurate level of technological or societal development as described in Appendix 1 or has been exposed to the concepts listed in Section 1, no Starfleet crew person will engage with said society or species without first gathering extensive information on the specific traditions, laws, and culture of that species civilization. Then Starfleet crew will obey the following:
Mm.
A.
Mm.
If engaged with diplomatic relations with said culture, will stay within confines of said culture's restrictions. B. No interference with said development of said planet. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, I guess going into the episode we were speaking about before,
Mm.
um, of course, we there's the alien species that's the in the Turium, and of course, there's a responsibility, I believe, from the Prime Directive to prevent suffering of the other species, or is that how you would see it?
Uh, I, maybe, possibly, possibly.
Yeah, and if it's alive, like, okay,
It's
you can't
alive.
like interfere and just like sap them of their life for your starship, like. Oh, poor Muffin. It's hard. He can't remember a thing about the Prime Directive. I
Yeah.
mean, it is like a very legalese, right?
Yes. Yes.
Which makes it difficult. And going into that, I brought up book club. I'm reading The Murdered Son, as I said before, by
R.I.P. that son.
Christine Golden. Yep, The Murdered Son. Not the murdered son, the
Not the
murdered
murdered
son.
son. Thankfully, okay, he didn't have to go through that. He died, but he didn't have to get murdered. So
Yeah.
it was. I mentioned earlier that talking to Birder is a fate worse than death. So
Well, it's a what's interesting in this story is the Voyager crew runs into a alien species that's getting its ass kicked by another species,
mm,
and you sort of just watch this little scouting ship get its ass, like they get killed like
mm,
pretty easily by these other aliens. Like, man, it's the Prime Directive. We can't really interfere, and they just watch innocent
mm,
people get blown up.
mm,
it
fucked up.
it would, like, they're doing things that sort of go against the Prime Directive in this book now that they saw that. But
Mm,
yeah, it's interesting, like, the good that can come out of the Prime Directive, like saying, well, if this space deuterium is alive, we can't, just kill it to fuel our spaceship. But it's also, well, if these two cultures or civilizations are going to war, we can't really interfere.
mm,
I mean, of course, if this was the real world, we'll find our own. We'll take a side and become become our proxy, or thinking about how this world works as through the American lens.
yeah.
I know. I know. With you, if you were in space and you were discovering new aliens, you'd be like, "All right, we gotta meet them right away." I don't care. Prime Directive, like, I'm a space explorer. Dang gummit.
Yeah. As everyone saw in my Mass Effect playthrough, I would meet
Oh
them
yeah.
quickly, I would kill them quickly.
That's what reminds me of your Baldur's Gate 2 so far as well.
A lot of death going on there. Mm, mm.
Oh, sir, we're making second contact, and there's been a whole lot of death and destruction. Yeah, Starship, you get the Gopher is faster. Since everyone's already down.
Everybody, no survivors.
Just like you find an alien species and just assume it's hostile or something.
In From Software games, I've had a few moments where there's an NPC who you're supposed to, just talk to. They'll give you some quests. I walk up to them. I'm like, oh, that person's gonna murder me. So I gotta kill them before they can kill me. So I hit them. Things don't end well for me.
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty fun. That if you see someone and you can just randomly attack them, it's not like we're some games like Mass Effect, for example. I saw you did a test. I mean, talking about this game, you mentioned how you kill people. I never tried shooting people in the Presidium or the Citadel, and it
Yeah,
was interesting to see you try that and it not work. Like that's
I
something I really
I
enjoyed about that playthrough.
I pretty frequently, when I'm in a situation where it's like, okay, the game doesn't even think you're gonna consider murdering anyone here. That's not even an option. Can I though?
Kenny.
Can I do that? Is that possible?
And yeah, that's you playing the game different was something that one of my favorite video games was something that really attracted me to that let's play. Yeah, different moral responsibility. Actually, I didn't do a full renegade run of that game until the last time I played it before I'd try and go the full like Paragon or Pantheon. I don't remember quite what they called the good um
See, you
decisions in the story.
you gotta go with the Renegade run because Renegade by Styx is a good song.
Yeah, but the Renegade from WCW wasn't that great.
Sure, it kind of bounces out like that. Mm.
Well, this was a fun episode of Trekking the Future, and I appreciate Muffin stopping by.
Yeah, we
That
had
was
a
a lot of fun.
little muffin interactions. I think that's the most chat interactions we've had with one of these. Had some
Yeah.
subs, the Grumpy Bee Gamer and Abdul, our good pal Abdul. Well, our pal Abdul. I don't know how
Well,
good he is, but he's a pal
yeah.
to a degree. And now
Maybe you see Renegade for you.
now he's a sub to over talk. And there's Muffin talking about penis, as one does. As one
Oh
does.
yeah.
We even had a worrying fracture IA4W063DS show up today to inform me that best viewers on streamboo.com removed the space at BFCHOSBI. So that was pretty cool.
Mm, yeah.
Pretty fun
Oh,
interaction there.
so Trekking the Future will be back next week. We're not leaving right now. I'm just saying,
Yeah, we can
with
get the
the Strange
three.
New Worlds episode, These Old Scientists.
Those old scientists. Let's see.
Yo.
An accident while investigating a time portal sends ensigns Beckett Mariner and Bradward Boimler through time from the 24th century, and Captain Pike and his crew must get them back where they belong before they can alter the timeline.
That's awesome.
Is that hold on? Is that is, is that it is? Hey, Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid plays one of
Yeah,
the Dennis Quaid's son from the boys.
boys.
Had a couple banger movies this year. Hey, hell yeah!
Hey.
Gonna get some Jack Quaid on next week's episode. Nice.
Oh yeah, dude.
I like that.
And really quick before it's let's see. Sorry, like I was trying to go into my Yahoo mail, and
That's a Yahoo.
uh, unfortunately, like right when I'm trying to get in, that's when like how to it's not even letting me do my password. So next week for book club, we're doing a Ghost of a Chance by Mark A. Garland and
Ooh,
Charles G. McGrath. So
ooh,
lot to look forward
double
to.
dip there.
Yep.
And we will be
Lot to look
back.
forward.
Same
We'll be back.
time, same place. And
Live and live long and prosper.
do both of those things.